What's going on, you guys? It's your Huggable Hipster here, and welcome to another video on a Tuesday. Today we're going to be diving into a psychologically gaming, but it's not the typical psychologically gaming of where we deep dive into a character or a motif from a game. We're going to be diving into why gamers love Dark Souls and Souls-like games so much. I thought it would be a really interesting topic, and you guys actually chose this in a poll that I posted yesterday, and I'm very excited to discuss this because this is a topic that I've been wanting to discuss for the past month and a half. I've been seeing like inspirations everywhere, from playing Dark Souls 3 from the first time to doing like certain videos and the concepts and everything. I'm thinking, you know what, let's get into this topic and let's deep dive into why gamers like difficult games like this. So it's no surprise to you guys at all that I absolutely love Dark Souls. I have been a Dark Souls fan since I first tried the games back in, I think it was June or July of last year, and I managed to basically speed run through basically all of the FromSoft games in less than a year. I absolutely love them. I think my favorite FromSoftware game has to be either Bloodborne or Dark Souls 3. I can't decide, but Dark Souls 1 has a very special place in my heart, considering the fact that that was the first Dark Souls game I ever played. So the main concept with where I'm going to go with this, just so you guys understand, is that I know not all gamers love the Souls type games or really difficult games. A lot of gamers just really want to enjoy themselves with not having to worry if they're going to just die a bajillion times, and I completely get that. I respect that and I understand that. But there are a lot of gamers like myself, like most of the community that that follows me here on YouTube and Twitter for the most part, and Twitch, is that you guys really love Dark Souls. You guys love to be punished. And one of the main reasons I think that is because we love a good challenge. And it's not just a challenge of like, okay, yeah, it's a difficult boss, the whoop-de-freaking-do. I think it's the challenge of that it is overly punishing to the point of where you need to up your game, you need to level up your stats, you need to understand your character well enough to be able to understand the boss well enough. That concept, quite frankly, did not even hit me until I managed to beat, finally, Smo and Ornstein when I played Dark Souls 1 for the first time. I beat that boss with no help, no summons, even though I don't think you can't do summons in Dark Souls 1 anyway. There is nothing other than co-op to really help you in the first Dark Souls game. So I went into that game and I thought, okay, this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a breeze. This is going to be fun. I can get this game done as a walkthrough on my channel. I was wrong. I was so incredibly wrong. There's a lot that goes into a Dark Souls game that people don't realize. And the fact of the matter is that you have to play by its rules. You can't just play it like a normal game. You have to understand that this game wants you to just play it the way it wants you to play it. With the mechanics that are clunky, with the multiple enemy respawns after you go to a bonfire. There's so many different intricate things about Dark Souls that make it tough but approachable. And that's another reason why I think that we as a community thrive on these kinds of games, is because it's not too hard to the point of where it's not achievable, but it's just hard enough and out of our reach that we have to be exponentially better than we normally would be in any other game to be able to conquer. And this, my friends, this is where the psychology comes into play, because it's mind over matter. It's basically telling ourselves that even though something is difficult, it is still approachable. It is still something that is achievable. I remember vividly the moment when I first saw Artorias, which, by the way, my favorite Dark Souls character in the existence of everything. It is my favorite one. I have a little statue of Artorias on my shelf. I love Artorias more than I can even explain. And it's not like that creepy, like, oh, I'm gonna write a fan fiction about Artorias. Never mind, actually, I'm writing a fan fiction about Artorias. Not one of the smutty fan fictions, okay? Get your head out of the gutter, okay? It's actually just expanding on his lore, which I'll talk about in another video and explain that. But it's the character Artorias. It was one of those boss battles of where I couldn't think I could get through it. I honestly thought that, oh god, this is the most difficult boss battle that I ever encountered, even though I had just recently at that point gotten through Smo and Ornstein. We tell ourselves consistently that we can't do something, and then when we finally do it, we shock ourselves. Our heart is racing and we are overjoyed with adrenaline and excitement. It's one of those really cool moments of where we beat our own expectations of what we thought we had for ourselves. It's one of those moments where we look at our mental strategies. We look at the moments of where we thought that we wouldn't be able to overcome something and we did it. It's kind of mimicking life to an extent after going through something traumatic or after going through something difficult. Yes, I am comparing it to a video game. Let me explain why. So when we go through a difficult situation and we think, God, we can't get through it, and then you get through it. It's the same thing with the video game. Mentally, you're still putting yourself in a position where you don't think you can get through something, but you work and you fight and you work your way through it and you get through it. That's all about the mental gymnastics that we do as gamers and as human beings. And this goes into the next reason why I think a lot of us as a community love Dark Souls so much and why we love these difficult games is because it actually shows us that we're unstoppable as people. You know, I love simple, calm, nurturing, wholesome, cozy games. You know, we all need those. We don't always need a game to grind on. We don't always need a game that is, you know, hard hitting every single time. You know, sometimes it's good to chill with a game that doesn't take itself too seriously. And I love that. But sometimes these games, I think for personal growth and development, I think they're very important for the community, because before I had played Dark Souls, I had never really challenged myself. I always took kind of the easy way out in a lot of my games. I always would, you know, not stick it through to some things. I would always choose the easy way out. And by no means am I criticizing those who decide to do that. That's completely valid. I'm just saying I never really challenged myself whenever I was playing a video game. So in this instance, I really had to buckle down and I had to focus on what approach would be best suited for my character. How could I do this in a way that would get me the best end result and beat the boss? Because I'm telling you guys, like, Dark Souls literally changed my perspective on how I game and how I interact with things in the real world. And I know that might sound silly to some of you guys, but it's one of those groundbreaking things of where a game can transfer itself over into real life. And I even thought the same thing when fighting Ishin Sword Saint. Ishin Sword Saint has to be the most difficult boss I had ever faced. There were several points when I thought, you know, I don't think I can do this. I mean, you know, my stubbornness was a big part of it, but, you know, the biggest part of it, including that, was the fact that I couldn't give up on myself. And that's a lesson that carries over into life. And this is what these games show, is that you can't ever give up on yourself, because once you do, then that's when you really lose. Whether it's Vicar Amelia, whether it's, you know, Ishin Sword Saint, whether it's Smoen Ornstein or Artorias, or whichever boss you encounter in these games, they all have a very specific lesson. They all have a very, very specific lesson that can be kind of implemented in life. They could be implemented into your daily struggles and what you as a person go through. And I feel like that is the greatest psychology behind the Dark Souls games, behind FromSoftware's games, is that they teach us to not give up and persevere through anything and everything, even the smallest thing that we come across in our lives. I feel like that is so important, and I feel like that's a big takeaway from any of these games. Don't ever give up, and understand your challenges before you take them on headfirst. But you guys, that was my episode for today. There weren't as many psychology terms as I would have liked, but that's okay. You know what? Psychologically gaming is still a psychologically gaming, where we're deep diving into the mind and why we like certain things and why things are the way they are in a nutshell. And if you guys like my face and what I do, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell down below if you guys want to see uploads literally every single day for the next 2 weeks. Let's go. Let's go. Let's stay casually nerdy, you guys, and I will see you all in tomorrow's video. Bye, you guys.